I'll move over, Swanson. I'm driving.
Wow!
Hey, Slam! My thingy's bigger than your whole boat!
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute. This is the podcast where we explore and examine and probe and, Jesus. All he does is swing a golf club. What puns or what kind of clever things do you do with that? It's not even a golf club. It's a gardening tool, and he just chops the heads off the flowers. Anyway, we do that with the film Caddyshack, 1 minute at a time. And I am one of your hosts, Tom Taylor, and another one of your hosts is Mike DeMaria.
You sound very down today.
Shut up. We also got Dan Lewis.
Something's not right.
Oh my God. He was. Were you holding on to that, Dan? For just this moment?
Well, this is off to a great start.
Yeah, once again, we're all miserable again.
Miserable.
I just got back from a lovely vacation, and now I find myself back in my basement late at night as though nothing has ever happened.
Oh.
And you got to go to work tomorrow.
I got to go to work tomorrow to a job I'm very indifferent about.
You were just on vacation until today?
Yeah, I got back into town a scant...
Where did you go?
I'm going to do some math. 5 hours ago. I went to Phoenix, Arizona, and I had a fantastic time with our friends Bill and Colleen. Hello, Bill and Colleen.
Oh.
And their sons and their dogs, and it was great. We had a great time, and now I'm back in the basement.
Well, you sure can tell a story, Tom.
Good for you.
I sure can. No, you know what I did? I did a sensory deprivation tank.
Oh, I did that once.
Yeah. Supposedly you need to do it more than once, and I've only done it once now, but it was very interesting.
This freak me out. That would freak me out.
It's cool.
Mike, you wouldn't be good in there.
No, it wouldn't.
The thing that freaked me out the most was whether or not I would be able to fit in the pod, like if I'd be able to like stretch out and not be touching anything. And it turned out I was just exactly not too tall to be able to fit in it diagonally.
Were you floating in water?
Yeah, you're floating in like I forget what the number is, but like they show you the video. It's like maybe a foot of water. I mean, it's enough so that you're like you're not touching anything, and but it's loaded with like bags and bags and bags of Epsom salts. So you're it's like you're in the Dead Sea or something.
Tom, I might be inventing it, but when I did something like hundreds of pounds of salt.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's ridiculous.
So much that you definitely float.
Right, so you can't see anything, you can't hear anything.
Right. And you know, by can't hear anything, you can hear like water slightly moving. You can hear your own like pulse in your ears and stuff, and there's like music at the beginning and the end. But other than that, you're just kind of like floating.
How do you trust people at that point? You know?
Yeah. It's nothing but bikers riding by you going "fuck you" the entire time.
No, it's just
knocking on the lid of the thing. Fuck you.
And I would just think that someone would open it up and just stick their hand on my neck or something and just try to choke me out. And I can't see or hear.
Somebody seem like very nice people at the.
Lock you in there and give you sucking sounds.
No, would you like tranquil music or lozenge sucking sounds while you're trying to float?
The sound of a lozenge hitting against the teeth. That little clicking sound.
Like the suck followed by the hit on the teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. And someone trying to say salsa.
Salsa.
Yeah.
And salsa.
And through a sucked lozenge saying "fuck you."
Now you're combining my horrors.
Right, yeah, like
Mike comes out enraged as a caveman, bursting out of the thing, sparks flying.
The whole thing just explodes like the Hulk's T-shirt.
The guy with the clipboard says, "I've never seen this happen before." Actually, the opposite happens.
He's off the charts.
Yeah, people come.
It's supposed to be under the charts.
Yeah, people come out of there refreshed. He comes out of there enraged.
Just angry.
Although I got to say, yet again, like people always have these like medical, either minor or major epiphanies where like they get like one treatment or one like they get orthotics and suddenly they're Adonis or something. Or they, like something happens and it changes their life, or they get earwax pulled out of their ear and they can hear for the first time in years or something. And I've never had that, and I still haven't. Like I didn't, I thought the experience was very cool and kind of weird and very science fiction. You're in like this big white pod thing and you come out and you're like, what? How long have I been gone? Like, what planet are we on now? But I did not necessarily come out feeling like $1 million, but it was very cool, and I'd like to do it again. and maybe then I'll feel like $1,000,000. I felt fine. I didn't sleep well the night before, so
you know what the closest thing I can attest to that is, and it actually happened today. I think that's kind of strange that you would bring this up today.
All right.
I was peeling an orange at my desk, and one of my coworkers walked by, Mr. Nate Miles, and he goes, you got to eat that in the shower. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, I heard on NPR you got to eat your oranges in the shower. You got to peel them, like with your teeth, and you spit the rinds on the, and you just eat it. And I go, what does it do? He goes, I don't know, but you got to do it.
NPR said.
No, so I started to look it up. So I wasted the rest of my afternoon looking up eating oranges in the shower. And there was this whole Reddit movement, I think, of, I guess you get in the shower and steam up the room, and then you peel the orange, and I guess it's supposed to be this euphoric scent or something.
God.
Oh,
wow.
like aromatherapy.
Yeah.
I
And
bet
it's
that
supposed to
would
be the
work.
greatest orange you've ever eaten. And to me, it just seems like a humid, steamy mess.
Now I got to clean up some orange peels and stuff from the
Well,
shower.
I do the same thing in the shower, except for with urine.
All right, see?
That's
I'm
much more
trying to-
easy. It's much easier and
All right, let's get
straightforward.
the minute, Tom. You did the
Steamy.
bookends,
Oh,
right?
I did,
You
I
didn't do
did,
the
yes,
bookends. I'm getting
yes.
out of this one now.
All right, thank you, Mike. God bless
Sorry, I
you.
railroaded it there. It sounded very interesting what you were doing, playing Enya and peeling your oranges in the shower. Like a
All right.
jag-off.
Speaking of very interesting and jagoffs, this is minute 50. No, I'm sorry, 63. Oh, Jesus. 63
You
of
hear that?
Caddyshack.
Listen to that. This is my throat. Ready? It sounds like that tan mom, that lady. I got vocal fry.
All right, what minute is this, Tom?
I'm going to tell you, Mike. I'm going to focus on you. It's minute 63 of Caddyshack, and this minute begins with the crowd going deadly silent, according to Carl, and it ends with Bishop Pickering putting in the rain. So we're getting into the beginning of this, I think, fantastic sequence with Carl and Bishop Pickering.
Oh, one of my favorites.
You got to like the tracking shot as Bishop Pickering is walking up.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of Paths of Glory, the trench scene.
Yeah.
It is
And he
one of
looks
the
a
few...
little Kirk Douglas-like walking towards
Yeah,
He
it
does.
Carl
You can
Spackler.
almost hear the...
was
the
he not
drum
a
beats.
contemporary of Kirk Douglas?
Yeah, pretty close, I would
sorta.
say.
Yeah, I would
Ish.
say so too. But
All
the point is you have a movie with absolutely zero film, there's no camera tricks or anything in this one. There's no
film language going on.
No, okay, yeah. You guys went to film school. You know film language, or the cinematographer doesn't have his the shot what he's known for. This is just
Right.
pretty much this is a jagoff movie, to use a word that Dan just used a few minutes ago.
But, they have a-
But
yeah.
then they have this very strict tracking shot.
Yeah.
It seems out of place. It's like, whoa, we just got all cinematic and arty all of a sudden.
But it's nice. It's just subtly dynamic.
It
So I
is,
would
and
think it should maybe, if we're going to stick with the Kubrick, we keep bringing up Kubrick films in here. Maybe it was
Yeah.
an homage to Paths of Glory there.
Yeah,
be.
there's definitely some throwback homages going on in this sequence.
We'll post it in
Yeah.
the listeners' hole, the tracking shot
Absolutely, yeah. The
classic.
beautiful tracking shots and
through the trench.
Yeah.
through the trenches, and they. But it is. I do think it works well because you're really in Carl Spackler's world there, as he does the whole play-by-play for the Masters tournament, and you're doing it's like all about him. You don't know that anybody's there, and he feels like he's alone.
Right.
And he's a bit embarrassed to find when people come by. So like entering into this is Bishop Pickering.
Yeah.
It kinda
Addressing him
gets-
directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that tracking shot kind of pulls him into the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty nice. That's
is.
like maybe Ramis, getting his legs a little bit.
It's a little vortex
Could be.
technique.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm going to try making a movie for a little bit.
right.
Good for him. And he does say this is a minor controversy, not even a controversy, but he says 9 holes. I want to get in a quick 9 holes, which I still maintain is less interesting and slightly less funny. I don't know if it's less funny. I don't think it does anything to the scene, but the idea that he's only doing 9 holes instead of 18 holes, I think, is a little It's a missed opportunity, maybe.
You're referencing the trivia question from
Yeah.
the last episode.
Yeah, it turns out that, I don't want to jump ahead, but rat farts and getting electrocuted, that's after 9 holes and not 18.
Right.
Like, the joke is that he's, like, playing through and possibly beating the club record and everything in this torrential downpour, and, it just seems less impressive if he's only doing that for 9 holes.
Like club record on the front 9 just doesn't have the same kind of ring to it.
Right. Yeah, I got killed on the 9th. I don't know.
Well, no one really gives a shit about the club record on the for 9 holes.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Certainly that.
Well, apparently God does.
Yeah, God took him down a peg.
That's definitely not Kubrick lightning, by the way. I mean, we have some Kubrick level.
No, that's Gilligan's Island.
That is some Gilligan's Island spider scene lightning right there.
Yeah, that's
the weather started getting rough.
Yeah, that's some after-school TV lightning right there.
I think it was done directly on the celluloid after the film was done.
Yeah, they scratched it off.
Using crayon.
Here, son, draw me some lightning.
Yeah.
Okay, Pop.
It was done by Ramus's kids.
Yeah.
I'm pondering this. I just had this conversation with my mom before I logged on, and I'm pondering in the background here. And it was, I think it was a normal conversation that I've always had, but I just realized that I've had a lifetime of abnormal conversations that I think are normal.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense to you?
Well, yeah. Sure. In other words, Abby normal.
Yeah, Abby. Yeah. No, but I just had a conversation.
You took them for
with my
granted
mom
at the time
that I've had 100,000 times in my lifetime, and I think I'm now just realizing, and I'm saying, that's not normal.
Yeah.
But it's normal.
Which one are you talking about now?
Well, what's going on?
Well, I was just talking to her. It's the same thing. This hurts, that hurts. I'm not feeling so good. I'm like, okay, yeah, but we'll see. Then, but I'll see you in a couple weeks for Easter. I said, sure. And she goes, okay, I'll see you then. I said, okay. She goes, oh, by the way, I have a burrito machine for you. I go, what? She goes, I have this burrito machine. I go, what the fuck's a burrito machine? And now I can't get it out of my head that and I know she bought it off the TV or something. She goes, you'll like it. You can make burritos. I go, but I can make burritos. What the hell machine is this? Now all I can think about it is this burrito machine that's at her house. And it's going to be still in the box because she has all these gadgets and boxes that she buys and just keeps them in the box.
It's coming for you. It's going to be your burrito.
She'll say, do you want that?
Those things that when you could put a rolling paper in it and it would roll up all you got to do is press down and it rolls up a cigarette for you.
Yeah.
Or a joint, as it were.
Yeah, it'd be that for a burrito.
It'd be like that, but for burritos. You just you dump a bunch of pinto beans and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And some queso.
That sounds like a big mistake.
Queso fundido.
Burrito machine.
No, but she's like,
hey, speaking of food. Oh, no, go ahead.
You're going to let me finish my story?
I will, yeah, thank you.
All right, yeah. Speaking of, just give me a second here. I'm almost done. All
right.
Yeah, we didn't know. Do the story. We don't know if they're going anywhere.
No, I don't know if it's over.
It was going somewhere. I just had this bizarre conversation. She's got a burrito machine waiting for me at Easter. Okay, it's going to be, she's going to put it in an Easter basket? Here's your burrito machine that's been here. Why didn't you come sooner? I said, because I told you I'd come at Easter. It's Easter today, Ma. But it's been sitting here for weeks. I said, I didn't tell you to get the burrito machine, did I? Did I tell you to get the fucking burrito machine? But I thought you'd be over before Easter.
It's on you.
I go, but I said I'd be home at Easter. Today's Easter, Ma. Thanks for the burrito machine. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, I was going to say.
Gotta get that dog.
Late, you're going to
get that dog out of here.
July 4th, get him out of here.
Get that dog out of here.
There's dogs in the room.
Yeah, get him out of the room.
You don't say.
It's funny because burrito machine was my nickname in high school.
You pervert.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Make of that what you will. And I did.
Hey, let's get the machine. The burrito machine.
The burrito machine.
Hey, Lewis.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, dum-dum.
Someone call for the burrito machine. I see that I'm needed. Thursday's no good for the burrito machine.
All right.
Tuesday's no good for the eradicator.
All right. So you got the tracking shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Reappearance of Bishop Pickering is nice to see. Bishop Pickering with a P.
With a P.
It's nice to see him again.
I'm accepting it. Yeah.
Henry Wilcoxon.
Yes.
Who was, I mentioned before, had he's a very regal, meaningful name. Henry roughly translates to home ruler. So Henry Wilcoxon means home ruler, son of Wilcox. Wilcox, of course, meaning Cox of Will. So really it's home ruler, son of Cox of Will. That's what his name is.
Burrito machine.
At which all of that roughly translates.
All leads.
It actually, it neo-translates now to burrito machine.
Exactly.
But I wonder if this burrito machine
first.
will change, will it change my life? Will it change the way the kids snack? Will we be
I think
making
it will.
burritos more often?
Yeah, think
Kids
of all
come
the times you're like, I really want a burrito, but just all the work.
I can't roll it.
There's got to be a better way.
I'm imagining it just like one of those big, complex, it's like a big box with like that accordion part in it, and then another box, and then a steam part, and then you turn it on and it does that song, Powerhouse. Dum 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 dum. And that goes, and out comes a burrito at the end.
Yeah.
Beautiful shining burrito with a halo.
Yeah.
This is going to be great. This is going to change your life.
Oh, we'll see. Maybe that's all I needed.
Chop, chop.
Go ahead.
Chop chop. I wonder if we're trying to
Get him out of the room.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
I'm going to get him out of the room right now.
Get him out of the room. This is
It's in the middle of a very nerdy thought, and then I'm interrupted by this
Come on, guys.
creature.
Hang on. Get him out of here. All right, get him out.
I'm sure they're wonderful animals. I love a nice dog. The house I was visiting in Arizona had two fantastic dogs, one of which looked like a burrito. And he was great. Yeah. So this little sort of tan, short-haired dude with short legs, and a little not overweight or anything. He just had some girth to him, and he looked like a burrito. And I'm not making that up. His
looked like a
parents made that up.
gordito.
Yeah,
probably
he
a
was
corgi.
great.
Was it a corgi?
He could have had some corgi relations or something. He had a very doggish face, like a very dog-shaped face, and you grab it and you tell him who's boss, and you tell him that he's your friend.
Huh.
And you guys get along famously.
All right.
Yeah. So, okay, wait, do I tell you more about that house and that trip, or do I tell you the observation I was going to make about Carl in this minute? Okay.
Nobody wants to hear about your damn
We were
trip.
theorizing. It's amazing, though. Okay, but we were theorizing about how they could be making a Shining reference in a movie that came out like 3 months after The Shining.
Yeah, right.
And but I am wondering the Carl when he's first meeting up with the bishop. Saying like your holinessness and your majesty and everything
So your
sounds
eminence.
very much your eminence.
Your eminency and your magnificence.
Yeah, it's very Han Solo in The Empire Strikes Back talking to Princess Leia. He is always tossing out those your highnessness and all these things.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's a bit
Yeah,
more.
you know what?
It's a stretch, but I have to
Save that. You know what?
interject.
Save that for your other podcasts.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Save it
I
for
mean,
your
the
other
other thing.
podcasts.
The other thing
I
was
will.
like, I never even considered the timeline of the Shining reference, just because I just automatically assumed it was obviously a Shining reference.
Oh, me too.
It was so obvious, and
Yeah.
I still can't figure out how that's not a Shining reference.
Yeah,
It just makes,
I have
it's
yet
crazy.
to. I want to think that had I not been on vacation, I would have looked it up by now to see if anybody else had any sort of insight. But it's possible that even had I just been in my normal flow of life, I still would not have done it. So
I think it's like a pre-reference.
it's
It's a preference,
it's.
right?
I prefer to have two movies make the same reference to each other at the same time in an impossible way.
Yeah.
I prefer that. That's my preference.
I prefer that time go in that way.
Yeah, this is what you get tested on in the Cooter preference test.
Forwards, not backwards. Upwards, not forwards. And always twirling toward freedom.
I actually don't know that reference.
Cooter You don't know that one?
No.
We'll post it. You don't know
Thank you.
Kang and Kodos enough.
What is the?
Oh,
what
I
is-
don't.
What is the preference test? Is that the one that?
Cooter.
Yeah, but which one is that? That's the. What does it tell you?
I think it's like a career aptitude thing or something. It's the one that
Yeah.
Danny and Ty are talking about way at
Right,
the
but
beginning.
is that the one that puts you in categories like you're a gatherer or you're a?
Oh.
I
there's
think it's
one that's-
like that.
Yeah.
Well, what was Danny's like answer to that? He said like, "Oh, it said I was supposed to be an underachiever or something." Is that
Yeah,
his
I'm
line?
supposed to be an
What is it?
underachiever.
Yeah, so it's that kind of test. Like, oh, you're supposed to be an ophthalmologist, or oh, you're supposed to be an undertaker, or that sort of thing.
No, there was another
Right.
one. There's another one that it's like many, many different ways of asking you the same question.
Yeah.
Because it tries to trick you into answering differently. Yeah.
I do think that people are watching me. I don't not think that people are observing me. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll throw in
I
ones
took that
about,
one.
I am depressed or I'm mildly depressed, and there's like a lot of
Right.
No, there's like emotional ones put in there, very practical ones.
Yeah.
I remember when I was applying for a job at this it was like an association of hand surgeons, right?
Right.
So
Right.
it was something very just like completely just, and it was working for like their publications. The hand surgeons belonged to this association, and it was about pretty much just putting together the whatever it was. In other words, it was something that they shouldn't be doing this for. But I think the guy who ran the place, minored in psychology, right?
Show
So
off.
he made me take all these tests, and then I went through like 3 rounds of interviews with different people, and I had to carry around the results of this test to each section of the interview. And they would look through it, and they're like, "Oh, very interesting. Oh, yes. Oh, it sees that you're a gatherer. You'll fit right in over in this department." And I'm like,
I didn't know I was a gatherer.
And I remember at the end, it said like it had like an emotional intelligence said average, and I'm like, trust me, if anything, my emotional intelligence is off the fucking charts. Everything else may be below average, but I'm emotionally intelligent. It was just you know what? It was a shit experience. That's all I got to say.
I'm
You
sorry.
put me in a bad mood today, Tom. With you, I came in here in a good mood. Then you
Wait,
started
how's it my
talking
fault?
about
What Tom-
everything's your fault.
But I
Because
do.
you
That's a good point.
It is a good point because
He
we
makes a
came on
good
here.
point that everything's your fault.
Everything's your fault. You came in
Hang on a
here,
second.
and I said, "Tom, what's going on?" And you're like, "Well, I'm on vacation, and I have the
Beautiful
post-vacation
vacation.
blues." Yeah, and now I have the post-vacation blues. I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm like, I've been at
blues.
work.
Give me a
I've been at
break.
work.
All right.
I've
Well,
been
you
at
get to
work.
go to,
Don't worry about it.
Istanbul.
Don't worry about
and
where I got to go.
Mongolia.
You think
All
what I
right.
got to? You think what I got to do there is a vacation? You
I
think
didn't say
you think
that,
keeping
but-
you and that kid of yours safe is a vacation?
Yeah.
How
You tried
dare
doing
you.
your
How
job
dare
in
you.
Ulaanbaatar.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
But I'm sure that when you get back from those places, you think, "Oh, I had an experience there.
You
That
try-
was- I was
you try
seeing
to
the
go
world.
halfway-
I was in another place.
You try
Now
to go
I'm back in my
halfway.
place.
You try to go halfway across the world, and then go to a crowded bazaar and try to identify somebody through cryptic notes you've been given.
Right.
And you got to identify the right guy. If you identify the wrong guy, you're a goner.
Is this
Yeah.
the 4:15 train to Ulaanbaatar?
Yeah.
Tom,
I understand the blood oranges are in season early this year.
Yeah.
Tom, if a man, oh God,
Let's go back to my minute 4.
if a man of Tom's height went to Ulaanbaatar, he'd be treated like C-3PO in Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm
They
looking
carry
for a
him around in
spy.
chair.
Has anyone seen a spy?
Yeah.
Right. Yub
Yeah.
yub. Indeed.
Yub, indeed.
Yep.
Toronto, gosh.
Oh,
God.
this is a bad day for all of us, I think.
This isn't good. Yeah.
Tom's got the post-vacation blues. Dan's
I
got
do.
the Shandong, and I'm
The
trying to
Shandong
figure out.
again.
And I'm trying to figure out what a burrito machine is and why is it waiting
Yeah.
for me.
And you're a hunter-gatherer on the cooter preference test.
It's not the
Right.
cooter preference. It's some other thing.
It's
All right.
cooter preference for sure.
It's
what he
totally cooter
says.
preference.
All right. Well, whatever.
Whatever.
I've passed with
Whatever.
flying colors that test many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not proud of it.
No.
Felt I owed it.
I gotta blow my nose. Hang on.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
nice. I could beat that easy.
I'm sure you could.
I could
I
beat
wasn't
that.
trying to make it a contest.
That, my friend, is a challenge.
No, wait a minute. Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
We're professionals.
You know what? You guys are
We
trying to
fight-
you guys are trying to reenact what I did in minute 4, which you
I
can't
know.
do that.
no, we're not reenacting anything.
And now we're gonna-
Listen, I didn't choose to catch this Shandong. And
I
speaking
have
of,
boogers in my nose.
aren't
Yeah.
there supposed to be some antibodies I get each time I get one of these fucking things? Like, what happened to my adaptive immune system?
Well, let's
Your system's broke.
you know what? Let's compare it to minute 4. So let's go to the tape. Tom, cue that up
All right.
for
Tail
us.
of the tape.
Again? All right. Here we
silence.
Here we go. To the tape.
Caddyshack, he's a builder, a real estate guy. Terrific was just. Oh God! Oh fucking hell!
It's like swords in my
good.
chest. Wow.
All right.
Okay, you were on death's door, but comically
Yeah,
so.
That was bad, yeah.
Yeah.
That was bad. Does it give you, how do you feel hearing that now?
I feel like I've grown so much as a podcaster.
Yeah, you really have.
You would never now cough and hack and blow your nose into the microphone. You would never do that.
Well, I bought
You're
a
a
better.
man.
I have
You're
a
a
better
pro.
microphone now. Somewhere around minute
That's true.
20 something, I went and got a better microphone.
Oh.
And we're all
So
grateful.
so the bishop's going to get his golf in, huh?
I love
Yeah,
that.
chop chop.
I love the chop chop. You get it again. It's a thing throughout the movie. How many chop chops are in this movie?
At least two. I mean, yeah, we got one from Judge Smales early on.
I think there's at least 3, but I have to go back.
Could be. Now, do you think Judge Smales got it from the bishop or the other way around? Like, you know how like you're pals with somebody, you pick up their lingo and their little euphemisms and things. Like, who do you think originated chop chop?
They're in a world where people say chop chop all the time. You know, it's like
they're in a world where they are the top of the food chain and everybody else is either in their way or they're supposed to be serving them but not taking quite long
Yeah, well,
enough.
Bishop Pickering
Or
is
quick enough.
is pretty much a bastard. I think that's what
Yeah.
we're getting at.
He is.
Unless he's winning, when he starts winning his his golf game, then everything's hunky dory.
Right.
But if
Well,
you go back to the locker room scene, he likes a nice a Jew and a rabbi and a colored boy joke.
Right.
You know, you got a good laugh of that. Now he's
Right.
telling the help to chop chop.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, like, you know, the music starts swelling and turns into like a very, like uplifting, hopeful, beautiful thing? And do you think that we're supposed to be remembering that we actually kind of hate Bishop Pickering and that he's a dick?
No,
And that's like a contrast to like this beatific moment that he's having on the links.
no, I take it the other way. Not the other way, but I think the music is very reminiscent of Ten Commandments.
It's the very same music.
It's the same music.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Literally?
So
Yeah, it
he's
is.
so as he's golfing, he's kind of morphing into Moses.
Right.
If you
Exactly.
notice that, so he's becoming
Yeah.
this biblical figure, and in a sense, defying God. Right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, sure.
God is telling him get off the course, and he's like saying, "Fuck you, man! I'm gonna
Yeah,
fucking do
it's
this,
like-
and you're not gonna
People
disrupt
love-
my." And even when he looks up,
Yeah.
he goes, "The good Lord will never, disrupt the greatest game of my
The
life." And
greatest
then
game of my life.
he
Yeah.
starts like wincing, like he's getting angry at God.
Yeah, well, I gotta
then
say
he's-
that moment is technically kind of incredible. Like the wind and the rain actually intensify as he says that line, which is pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Wait, is that this minute?
That might
No,
be
it's
the next
next
minute.
It's next
Oh
minute.
shit, that's the next minute.
But
Oh,
it,
okay.
but it all
Okay.
kind of, you brought up the
Yeah.
music, and we're talking about, we have
Yeah.
to.
Like
we
the
have to-
more joy he
Yeah.
gets, and this is sort of like the scales of justice you brought up earlier, Mike. The more joy he gets, the more God comes down on him to sort of challenge him or punish him.
See, now
Right.
we could
For
be getting
his
we could be
hubris.
getting into some Miltonian stuff here now.
Again, even when there's not boobs on screen,
Yes,
we
no,
get into
it
milk.
could be-
Paradise
be-
revisited.
Yeah. It could be the moment if you go back, if you know, in the Miltonian view, is God is always kind of like ready to slap you on the wrist in a sense. The minute you start to
Yeah.
feel a little joy, and in the Paradise Lost, the Miltonian view is Satan's about to come and corrupt man, and in the Milton version, he kind of spies Eve before he comes in to do the thwarting, but he pauses. He pauses and looks at her and says, "Oh, she's beautiful." It like takes in God's glory in a sense. Like says, "Ah, she's very beautiful." And for a moment, you think, well, maybe he's not going to corrupt us, but then he corrupts us anyways.
Madonna with meatballs.
Right.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I like to get the high literary take on the whole thing.
Yeah, a little literature between hacking and nose blowing.
But in this one,
was-
it's kind of the same
yeah.
thing. Where as Bishop is standing up to the fury of God, God's not going to have any of that. And he's going to have the last laugh.
Big dude, don't get too big for your britches.
Right.
Right.
And this is the
Exactly
Old Testament. And this is the
Yeah,
Old Testament
okay.
God here. This is the
Oh yeah, this is Yahweh.
this is Yahweh.
This is,
Let's not-
He am.
Hey
who
Abraham,
is
why don't you go
am.
kill your son? Just
no,
kidding.
don't do
Psych.
that. You almost
Did you think I was serious?
Dude, you
Abraham,
fucking-
stop
dude,
it.
Dude, you fucking almost killed him.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you? Why would you kill your son?
Whoa.
fucking-
Okay, don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't
you're
do
fucking
it.
laughing.
You were gonna do
right?
it.
Oh my God, you were
You know
going to
what
do
though?
it.
Good on you. Good on you. You were gonna do
Yeah.
it. Good.
I am
for you.
God, so you're supposed to do that because
Yeah,
I said so, but I
guess
can't
technically-
believe you were
Right.
going to do it.
I can't
Yeah.
get mad at you, but jeez, man.
Jeez, no, tone
That
it
is
down.
exactly the kind of stuff that made me say, I'm in college. I'm not going to go to church anymore. This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I'm gonna grow up maybe
Yeah,
and not.
this
This
is-
is ridiculous. This stupid
I've been
story.
flummoxed by this stuff for long enough.
Well,
But you can't be like a Catholic or a Christian, and then sit there and believe in the Old Testament God, the one that'll
Yeah.
burn us 6 ways to Sunday.
Right, but they
And-
presented as the same guy. They
Right.
presented it all as one book, and I'm like, wait, I'm 5. I cannot reconcile these two
Right.
things on a weekly
right.
basis.
But
Am I
then
to
you
believe
flip it
this
on
is a
its ear.
complete dick. This guy.
And I
Yeah.
used to get in screaming matches with my mom about this because to her it's the word of God and that's just the way it is. I'm like,
Right.
but if I'm to believe, and I've sat there and told and listened to sermons where or the homilies and where they've told me that the God of Jesus came to turn the Old Testament God on his ear in a sense to say, well, it's not really
Exactly,
about
yeah.
that. But so you can't have one. You can't believe in them both. You can't.
Right.
No. But
Yeah.
either way, Mom, why would he make me such a person to not like him for being a dick? It doesn't.
Right.
I don't. Mom, wake up.
Yeah, wait, all right, so God is love, so then why is there even a hell? Like, who would go to hell?
Right.
Like, wouldn't God
And
just
so say,
forgive everybody?
It's
I got some
tricky,
good
Al.
ideas. I want you to read this book, Mom, and I'm going to talk to you about this book. But first, here, why don't you sit here and read the introduction to this book? It's a really interesting book. I'm going to go put a couple burritos in the burrito machine, and when I come back, we'll discuss that.
Assuming I don't scald myself or lose a finger
Yeah.
in the burrito machine. Yeah, we're
Right.
going to have a good chat. Yeah, no, at a certain point, you got to be, oh, you know what always killed me? Did I say this on here already? We've talked about church a few times, but it seemed like on Ash Wednesday every year,
Oh boy.
they had the same, like reading in the book. I don't know what they're all called, but they're like some reading in the book about like don't go shouting about your religion. Don't go be like a big braggart about your religion. Just it's between you and God, and that's how it should be. And then on the same day, they put the ashes on your forehead and say, "Do not wash this off for the rest of the day."
Yeah,
Everyone
walk-
needs to see
Yeah.
that you're a Catholic and that you're walking around and that you got a cross on your head
Yeah.
made out of ashes. And I'm like, wait, I don't what?
Yeah, what
I'm
are
going to
you
go
doing?
home and read a comic book which has clearly delineated origin stories, and whose side who everybody is on.
Right.
And it makes a ton of sense, and thank you. Don't tell my mom.
Right.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, there are many graphic novels that I think would be better.
Yeah,
Source
Watchmen makes
material.
more sense than this. You
Oh,
guys.
let me tell you something. The Bible is the greatest graphic novel superhero story you'll ever read if you read it as such.
If you read it as such, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you say this is it is the greatest story ever told.
Right.
I just
Yeah,
can't
well,
follow it.
Yeah, I missed the part in Archie
shifts
Comics
gears.
where the two guys go to the village and then they're offered the daughters of the guy, and then
All the
they can have their way
begotten-
with those daughters, and then they turn into pillars of salt and all of.
No, that was Lot.
hell?
Lot and his
Yeah,
wife.
Lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't look
I was
back and look.
referencing it in an Archie Comics world.
Don't look back. Boston sang of Lot's wife.
Yeah. It was Don't Look Back. All right, we'll
I checked it. It is the music from Ten Commandments.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
literally, okay.
It is being used intentionally there. I think Henry Wilcoxon, which again means home ruler, son of Cox of Will.
Wait, homeschooled? What?
All right. Okay. Keep going now.
Maybe I misread it. It's homeschooler, son of Cox of Will.
All right.
It's he was in Ten Commandments.
I thought you said that early on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He wait a minute. What did I? He plays a character Pentar.
Oh, yeah, Pentar. Pentar is
Pentar.
awesome.
Anyway, yeah.
I love
So
Pentar.
I think he's making a reference there just because he's got an old Hollywood Cecil B. DeMille actor, so they're doing a Cecil B. DeMille scene, and I think
Yeah.
that's the whole point of that. So it's that makes it. I think I've always loved this scene, and I think it's extra funny now.
Wasn't
Yeah.
wasn't Yul Brynner in Ten Commandments?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yul
he
Brynner
was the
in there,
Pharaoh.
too. Ramses.
Yeah.
And
I can see
Charlton
it. I never
Heston,
saw
of
the Ten
course.
Commandments. He's
You know what?
famous.
Edward G.
when
Robinson was in it. And that I don't remember. That'd be great,
see?
though.
Where's your Messiah
see?
now?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's papyrus curtains for you, say.
Yeah, see, we're going to bow down to that calf, see?
Yeah, say.
Hey, listen to me good. Huh? Go to that burning bush. See? Right.
When I throw a lighted match at this bush and my friend Rocky was in there,
You might, Rabbit, you
might. That was the extent of my Edward G. Robinson knowledge for probably the first 20 years of my life, was just Bugs Bunny impressions of Edward G. Robinson.
Yeah, and Chief Wiggum. Like,
Yeah.
Chief Wiggum, obviously.
Nothing is
Edward G.
chocolate
Robinson.
out.
Lou and his frittatas.
Carl and Lou.
Boy.
Oh,
Well, all right. Do you want to keep going, or should we put this
No,
one
let's
to
keep
bed?
going. No, they got the rainstorm started, right?
no, it's
Well, I know, but
we got a
that's what I'm.
rainstorm.
I feel like stuff starts more in the next one. Like, we get them on the links, but we don't.
Yeah, but you don't want
Like
to
the
talk
rain
a little
picks up,
longer? I mean, then people got to wait another
they
couple
could.
days before the
No,
next
it's
episode
fine.
comes.
Listen, you keep it brisk and you leave them
You
wanting.
know what? I listen to
more.
these on my. I listen to these in the morning, of the day that
Yeah.
they get that they hit the stand, right? And
Yeah.
nothing angers me more than when I look down and it says, 31 minutes or 28 minutes. I look down every so often and it says 47 minutes. I'm like, that's right, 47 minutes. Fucking should be talking for 47 minutes.
Yeah. Well, Mike, you got to have stuff to talk about, but I disagree.
I don't have
It
stuff
has
to
to
talk.
just always be longer and longer.
I don't have stuff to talk about.
No,
I don't
I'm
have
saying,
stuff to talk about.
We should have stuff
You're
to
all-
talk about. I don't know how many
you're all
stories
gonna
we
slowly
have.
backing out of the room.
You're all going to go to bed tonight trying to figure out what the fuck a burrito machine is.
Hey, can I tell you something funny that happened on the plane really quick?
Yep.
Just like
Okay,
hours
the-
ago.
the
I was on a
Matt
plane
Dillon story real
from.
briefly.
Because of my favorite Matt Dillon story. I was on the plane next to this, like across the aisle from this, like, this mom. She was like my mom 20 years ago or something. And she's reading a book on her tablet thing or Kindle or something. And it's really, the print is really big because, I guess she's getting up in years. It's easier for her to read that way. I'm like, okay, whatever. She's reading some dumb novel or something. And I glance over and I see a sentence like, his turgid cock erupted within her vaginal ripplings of the thing. Yeah, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Jesus. Not only is my mom reading that across the aisle from me, basically, but it's huge. And, like, anybody walking by is going to see every word of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and so, like, for the rest of the flight, I'm like, oh, she got another. It, like, wasn't, it was like, like some shitty novel. So, like, had all these scenes in it. So, like, everyone's, I'd say, oh, he was a cop. Okay, whatever, boring. But then, like, oh, wait, hang on. Her nails dug into his whatever and stuff. And it was, like, really, really graphic. And it was
Is your mom
hysterical.
reading this?
No, but it was a woman who easily could have been my mom.
Oh,
it was
my
like
God.
that kind of person.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should have complained,
No.
to the. You should have called someone over and said, I'm
I'll have
sorry,
what she's
but that woman's turgid cock is a bit big for me.
Yeah.
From where I'm
Shouldn't she get
sitting.
another? Does she need another? Buy another seat for that turgid cock? It seems it's taking up a lot of space on this plane.
The font, she's got to tone the font size down if she's going to be on a family flight.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
If you can get kicked
So you
off
know
a
what?
flight
This-
because of leggings, you certainly.
I was going to say, yeah, Delta's kicking women off for wearing leggings,
United.
and this woman, yeah.
Let's United.
This was United too.
No, I thought it was Delta. It was Delta.
I think
not
Delta
United. No, it
sort of
wasn't
poked
United.
fun at them by saying you can have your leggings on.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll see about that.
Yeah,
We will see.
Yeah, we'll double check that for you, folks. Don't hold
Everything
it
will be
against
put to the
anybody
test.
yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I got my kicks on the flight home.
That's
Bunch of
amazing.
funnies.
I got my funnies. It wasn't like flowery in the least. It was like just full on.
It
like
was just like she was straight
Yeah.
reading porn, and she was that.
Yeah.
She was like what 70? You're saying?
she was between 60 and 70. I'm terrible at this stuff, but yeah, she's easily 65 years old. hair colored to what might have been her natural sort of blondish red earlier. You know, bangly gold bracelets and things. You know, and she's on the aisle. So yeah, literally anybody going like, I'm taking my grandson to the men's room. You know, oh, turgid cock. Oh my God, vaginal muscles gripping. What?
This is like one of those. Every once in a while, every once in a while when you're out in the woods at the old hobo porn stop, you'd see one. There'd be one of these novels wrapped up, and, rolled up and put in between the pine leaves.
Right.
Yeah.
I one year for Christmas, we do like a Secret Santa thing in my family, so all the adults don't have to spend money on stuff they don't need. Like you buy it for one person. So I picked my brother-in-law's name, so I was buying for him, and instead of getting him like a Borders at the time gift certificate or something, I just bought him like 4 or 5 like erotica novels from there, so that he would have to return them to get what he wanted.
That's fantastic.
And it was pretty great. I asked my sister years later. She's like, I think he just kept them. I don't think he ever bothered to return them.
That's always good. That's a great way. Yeah, that's a great way to not only do the embarrassing gift, but it's also a great way to genuinely give somebody some sort of embarrassing gift that you actually think they might want.
Yeah.
Because now they can pretend that it's a joke gift.
Yeah.
But
Get it? Ha ha ha! I bought you porn. Where'd he go?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he's enjoying the porn.
These run on double Ds or double D batteries or.
Yeah. Mike doesn't like this talk.
Huh.
No, well, we hit the 41 minute. Let's.
All right, Mike's
now
happy
Mike
now.
wants to end it.
Yeah, now Mike's sleepy.
Yeah.
All right, listen, all you freaks. At 41 minutes, and who knows, maybe I had to edit something down. It might be only 39 minutes. We don't know.
You should do some trivia.
Oh, right now?
Yeah,
A real quick
end of the
trivia?
show.
Okay.
All right.
To play us out?
Play us out. There's no words on it.
I'm going to get one of these cards and see if there's words on it. Hang on.
A friend of mine wrote me an email today to a few of us, sort of the circle of friends out here, and he goes, "Why did you guys not tell me about this for 6 years?" And it was that
Oh,
clip.
my God, really?
And I was just like, my friend, you got to listen to the podcast where we reference it every single time. Every single episode we reference that thing. And then he posted the one. Did you see the one that's of Stewie doing it on Family Guy?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll post that one too. It's really
That's pretty
good.
funny.
Yeah, they just
Wow.
copy it exactly.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
Oh, it's time for trivia.
Oh,
I
let's
got to
cue the
pause for our
music.
music. Yep.
Well, you
Oh, I
gotta
like that
All
song.
right. Okay. All right.
well, hopefully you're
love
actually
that
putting
song.
it in post.
Yeah.
God only knows.
Yeah,
God
an
only
awkward
knows.
pause there means that Tom didn't do his job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom was on vacation instead of
much
searching
if
for
my- if
free
my-
game show like music.
All right. Or if
And
my
I hope
cough
you
from
heard
minute 4
earlier the
wasn't.
reference to episode 4 that he was Tom was
Yeah,
supposed
the
to put in.
cough.
The
Yeah.
cough.
All right.
Exactly.
Let's
You
get
know
to
what?
these things.
I can't. It's not spoiling anything for anybody because this is later in the run. But I did actually put that in. I actually went to the trouble of putting that in. 20,000 feet over the surface of the earth. I was editing that one. I put flashback to minute 4. It was fantastic.
Good.
And you all loved it. All right, Caddyshack trivia. Number 1. We got 4 questions on this card. Number 1, tie. Oh, and it says it's par 4. Does that mean that it's supposed to be more difficult?
Oh,
Possibly.
yeah.
We
right,
don't know.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be
it's
like
4
medium
strokes.
difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ty practices putting with how many balls?
Oh, my God.
At the sound of
think
that,
the
we
standard
might
2.
need. Well, okay. Now I assume they are referring to that no scene.
Yeah.
You know, where he's. That's definitely more than 2.
2. No, I
6.
was making a joke there. 1,
I know.
2, 3.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's 6 or 7. What do you think? Let's go with 6. I'll go with 6.
6 sounds as reasonable as anything else. I'm going to look at the back. Oh, it's 7. It was 7.
Close.
That's
That's
some
close.
hardcore trivia right there. I mean, if we're
That's
not,
a really
we
good
don't
one.
know that. Who the hell does?
Well, it came one
Oh
close.
my God. Okay. What color are the Smales' pillows?
Yellow.
Jesus. Oh, okay. Now this
Brown.
presupposes that Judge Smales and his wife share the same bedroom because
Which we
we
know
really
is-
only see that
May not
one
be
bedroom.
true. Right.
Yeah. But also, they're brown, right?
I think
Isn't that
brown.
whole
Sure, why
bread
not?
that whole bed theme is brown?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes, it is brown. According to this
good.
card, they are brown.
it is.
We know
Okay.
a couple things about the smells color motif. Yeah.
We do. What does Ty spill on Lacey?
Oh,
Well, the
I guess
That's
oil.
easy.
gross
Oil.
oil.
Yeah,
the
massage
rubbing-
oil.
rubbing oil.
Yes.
Gross.
Right. Who is Judge Smale's, quote, regular pal, unquote?
Oh, he and I regular pals.
Yeah,
Just ask my grandson Spalding.
that's right. It's Spalding.
Yeah.
And that was Caddyshack Trivia. Yay! All right.
All right, good night, everybody.
I love that song.
That is good. I don't know where I found that, but it was great and it was free,
All right, well, this-
unless I'm getting sued as we speak.
The year was
Well, we got
1936. and
this has
Spain
been a
was racked by
depressing.
civil
We're all
war.
in a depressing mood.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Tom put us in a shitty mood.
I'm sorry. You know what, though? I'm excited for the future because my friend Bill, who I was staying with, I hope he's listening, introduced me to the bulletproof diet, which I only barely understand. The only part of it that I completely
coffee.
understand is that he starts the day with bulletproof coffee,
Yeah.
which is coffee
Butter.
with grass-fed, unsalted butter with all these
yeah.
things in it, and you grind it into your coffee, into your brewed coffee. You blend
Mm-hmm.
it in there,
Why does
and it is
that-
fantastic. Have you had that, Mike?
I've
No,
heard of
but
it.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It
But why
is
does it work
dreamy.
as a diet?
It is part of a fuller regimen of supplements and diet and things, and
Those
I think
rewards are always
it's a
ridiculous.
boost to your morning that's supposed to get you through to your meal or something.
Just
It's like
I
the
totally
essential-
have this wrong.
It's like putting.
Bill's listening to this and going, "No, you're totally missing the point. You haven't read the book, have you?" I did not read the book yet. I couldn't download it on the plane, but I will.
But you knew it was
Yeah.
bullshit when you know that it's a diet book of any
Yeah.
kind.
Well, sure, but it's also like a larger scope thing.
Yeah, you put
I'm
a
gonna
big
try it.
pad of
I'm gonna try it.
big pad
I'll keep
of,
an open mind.
Yeah. It's
But
a
I have heard about
bulletproof-
this butter in the coffee thing, and I'm
Yeah.
curious now.
They call it.
I haven't
bullet
tasted
coffee.
anything for 4 days, so I don't fucking know what anything
Could
would
be
like.
great. Tastes like phlegm. All right. On the word phlegm, we'll end this minute. Minute four.
You know what? We might as well
63.
wait now because I said 47 minutes, right? We got 10
really? Did you?
about 15 seconds to get us
Well,
to 47
knowing me, it'll
minutes.
take at least that long to end the actual
Yeah.
minute. So
Yeah,
okay.
10 more. Like 10
It's okay.
more
This was
seconds.
minute 63. Everybody
you. I
loved
hate you.
63.
I hate
We
you.
had
I hate
hate.
you.
We had
I hate
snot.
you.
We had
I'm gonna
boogers.
say I hate
we
you. A
had
few more seconds. I hate
grandma
you, Tom.
porn.
I hate you. I hate you.
Please come back next time
I really like
when we
Tom.
talk
It's
about
okay.
minute 64
Growl you.
of the movie
Yeah, goodbye.
Caddyshack here on the Caddyshack Minute.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.